In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on March 9, 2024 and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Arkansas versus Alabama, the final game of the Southeastern Conference regular season is upon us, featuring an early matchup between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the number 16 Alabama Crimson Tide scheduled for Saturday. In their last home game against LSU, Arkansas secured a convincing victory with a scoreline of 94-83, successfully covering the 4.5-point spread as favorites. On the contrary, Alabama experienced a challenging defeat at the hands of Florida, succumbing to the Gators with a score of 105-87 despite being only 2.5-point underdogs. Notably, this marks the sole encounter between these teams this season, with Alabama having emerged victorious in both matchups last year. Anticipated to be one of the highest scoring games in college basketball on Saturday, this clash promises an intense battle characterized by an aversion to defensive play and a penchant for a rapid pace. Both the Razorbacks and the Crimson Tide are known for their offensive prowess, and the lack of defensive emphasis is expected to result in a back and forth track meet. Adding to the intrigue, Alabama finds itself in a state of form decline, having lost 3 of its last 4 games, including a substantial defeat against Florida earlier in the week. Meanwhile, Arkansas is gaining momentum with 3 wins in their last 5 games. Consequently, the Arkansas Razorbacks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. While the pace of play is a significant factor, recent game outcomes further emphasize the potential high-scoring nature of this contest. Both teams rank within the top 35 nationally in terms of pace of play, with Arkansas at 34th and Alabama at 11th. When 2 fast-paced teams collide, they often settle comfortably into their rhythm, perpetuating an up-tempo style of play. The efficiency of Alabama's offense, the most potent in the nation, against the 141st-ranked defense sets the stage for an abundance of points. Additionally, both teams have a trend of going over the total, with Arkansas surpassing the total in their last 5 games and Alabama doing so in 8 of their last 9. For those who revel in a lack of defensive intensity and relish open-floor scoring, this game presents an ideal spectacle. With both teams boasting an exceptionally high pace of play, subpar defensive performances, and a reliance on offensive firepower, this matchup aligns perfectly with the preferences of those who appreciate open-floor basketball. As 2 fast-paced teams with recent success in surpassing the total, their meeting is poised to result in yet another high-scoring affair, reminiscent of an NBA game. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Iowa State versus Kansas State. The commencement of the closure for the regular season in the Big 12 is marked by an intriguing Saturday afternoon clash between the number 6 Iowa State Cyclones, boasting a record of 24-6 with a 13-4 standing in the Big 12, and the Kansas State Wildcats, holding a 17-13 overall record and a 7-10 record within the Big 12. The Cyclones recently celebrated senior night with a hard-fought 68-63 victory over number 20 Brigham Young University, albeit failing to cover the 7.5-point spread as favorites. Conversely, the Wildcats suffered a challenging road defeat against number 14 Kansas, succumbing 90-68 while being pegged as 12.5-point underdogs. In a prior encounter this season, Iowa State emerged victorious at home, clinching an 11-point triumph. Embarking on a journey to Manhattan, the Iowa State Cyclones find themselves in a rematch against the Kansas State Wildcats at the Bramlage Coliseum. This serves as a revisit to the clash that occurred on January 24th, where the Cyclones secured a 78-67 win as an 8.5-point favorite. despite a less than impressive performance against Brigham Young University, resulting in a narrow 68-63 win. Iowa State maintains a solid 11-4-1 against the spread record in their last 16 outings, all confined within the Big 12 Conference. Notably, Iowa State has prevailed in 3 out of the last 4 matchups in the series, even though they suffered a setback in their most recent visit to Manhattan on February 18, 2023, where they were favored by 4 points. The Kansas State Wildcats, who made a formidable run in the NCAA tournament last season, seem to be gradually fading from the postseason picture. With 5 losses in their last 7 games and a 3-9 straight-up record in the past 12 outings, their decline commenced after the defeat in Ames on January 24th. However, the Wildcats have shown resilience on their home court, clinching victories in their last 2 games and 3 of the last 4, including notable wins over Brigham Young University and Kansas, in a game deemed crucial for Jerome Tang's team. Opting for the Kansas State Wildcats to cover the spread as underdogs stands as our full game side pick. When it comes to defensive prowess, Iowa State stands out as elite, and both teams exhibit stronger performances on the defensive end rather than the offensive end. Ranked second in defensive efficiency, Iowa State lags behind at 69th in offensive efficiency, lacking a standout player capable of posting significant scoring numbers, with no team member surpassing 14 points per game. Kansas State also prioritizes defense, sitting at 23rd in defensive efficiency and 145th in offensive efficiency. With only 68 points scored in their recent game, Kansas State's vulnerability to pressure on their perimeter players was evident in their loss to Kansas. Both teams adopt a deliberate pace, with Iowa State at 177th and Kansas State at 194th in tempo. In their last 4 games, Iowa State has consistently fallen below the total, and this trend extends to 8 of their last 10 games, crediting their solid defense for suppressing opponents' scores. The previous encounter between these two teams in late January witnessed a combined score of 147 points, surpassing the total of 136 points. This season, the over has hit 15 times in 30 games for the Cyclones and 15 times in 30 games for the Wildcats. Positioned at 198th and 177th in tempo, respectively, Kansas State and Iowa State represent middle-of-the-pack teams in terms of pace. The Cyclones' defense impressively held their last 4 opponents to 64 points or fewer, achieving this feat in 4 out of their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Wildcats struggled to surpass the 70-point mark in 4 of their last 10 games. Despite the challenge posed by a modest total, the final game before the conference tournament is anticipated to witness a more deliberate pace from both sides. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Creighton versus Villanova. While the dust settles on the Big East Conference title, the 10th-ranked Creighton Blue Jays and the Villanova Wildcats continue to vie for advantageous positions in the impending conference tournament. Creighton enters this crucial clash with a record of 22-8, contrasting with Villanova's standing at 17-13. This heavyweight showdown on Saturday marks the second encounter between the two schools, with Villanova securing a 68-66 overtime victory in Omaha at the commencement of this year's conference play. Anticipating a reversal of fortunes, I am inclined to back Creighton as a slim 1-point favorite on Saturday afternoon. To commence our analysis, let's turn our attention to the Ken Pom rankings, where Creighton stands as the 10th best team in the nation, flaunting an impressive adjusted efficiency margin of +24. In comparison, Villanova sits at the 29th spot on the list with a +18 margin. Moreover, the Blue Jays are currently riding an impressive trajectory, clinching victory in 6 of their last 7 games, including 2 notable triumphs against top 5 opponents. I am of the opinion that Creighton possesses superior playmakers and benefits from the guidance of a more experienced head coach. The recent offensive performance of the Villanova squad was lackluster, and this deficiency is likely to hinder their success in the upcoming game. While Villanova averages just over 71 points per game, Creighton boasts a higher scoring average of 81 points per game. The Blue Jays are poised to capitalize on this scoring prowess, making the difference in this matchup. With a potent offense and a rebounding advantage, the Creighton Blue Jays to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Despite an 18-point overtime period in their initial encounter, the combined point total for these two schools was a modest 134 points. As Villanova's NCAA tournament aspirations hang in the balance, we can anticipate a playoff-like atmosphere in this pivotal game. Both teams have exhibited excellence on the defensive end throughout the season, with Villanova ranking 13th in defensive efficiency, allowing only 95 points per 100 possessions. Creighton follows closely at 25th in the same category with a defensive efficiency of 97. Additionally, both teams rank lower in terms of pace, with Creighton utilizing 66.9 possessions per 40 minutes and Villanova employing just 63.7 possessions. Villanova prefers a slower pace, evidenced by their 348th ranking in adjusted tempo according to Ken Pom, while Creighton is positioned at 230th. Both teams exhibit a methodical approach, emphasizing getting the ball to their key players. Villanova has consistently gone under the projected total in their recent games, allowing over 66 points just once in their last 9 matchups. In light of these considerations, let's keep it simple and go with under the projected total as our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.